everybody! This is your host, Learvok, and you are just in time for something a little different. What you're seeing right now is you're seeing pre-recorded gameplay footage. I'll have, hopefully, various different games interspersed through here. You should be able to see in the corner the name of the game. You'll also find the name of the game used in the down below in the description. So if you want to see a list, it should be in order, hopefully. But yeah, so anyway, what I'm going to be doing right now is something similar to Review Tech USA. If you don't know what Review Tech USA, yay, I'm more popular than a well-known YouTuber, if only for a second and only to you. Sorry, I just had to gloat there for a second because it's so rare that that's gonna happen. If that even actually happens. But anyway, what Review Tech USA is he's a news report show where he talks about usually gaming news or tech news and uses video game footage as the overlay instead of his own face, because let's face it, we'd rather see video game footage than a guy sitting in front of a camera reading from a script. Or in my case, it's a guy sitting in front of a camera, waving his arm, throwing his arms about in a nonsensical manner as he attempts to do this thing called talking without a script. Anyway, that out of the way, what I plan on doing that's a little different from him is this is going to be more for just kind of talking about whatever is on my mind. This isn't going to be nearly as frequent as his. But yeah. So yeah. The thing I want to talk about right now is Steam Direct. I've been getting exposed to a lot of that online recently. Well, when I say recently, I mean since it started. For those of you that don't know, Steam Direct is Valve's quote-unquote answer to their horrible greenlight system. Which, for those of you that don't know what greenlight is, well, maybe I should start with that. Steam Greenlight was a way for Steam to get new games onto their store without the horrible blockade of, hey, only big name companies or people with enough money could get onto Steam. It was also their attempt to try to kind of keep just any old John and Jane Doe from posting their children's crappy little RPG Maker game without, without having any kind of quality control. The idea being that Steam's Greenlight system would be a way that the community would vote on the game, and it would get in via popular votes. The problem is Valve could never seem to figure out a good middle ground for this, and towards the end of Steam Greenlight, or for the vast majority of Steam Greenlight, pretty much anyone could get on with minimal amount of voting, and a lot of people were actually kind of bribing their way on with like free Steam keys and so on and so forth. So they tried to come up with a new system, this being Steam Direct, where instead of people voting for the game, you pay a flat $100 fee per game that you can recoup, and this was supposed to keep people from posting games on there because, hey, if you're actually going to be making a real game and you're going to want to pay, you don't want to have to pay the money, or you want to pay the money more for a real game as opposed for a fake game, as they call them. Most people call them asset flips. We'll get into that in a second. And but so most people would want to pay for. It's the advantage of not having a script, ladies. This is the advantage of having a script, ladies and gentlemen. Write a damn script. I keep telling myself this every time. I'm too lazy to do it. Anyway, so Steam's answer, or Steam's logic behind paying the $100 recoupable fee that you could make back by selling enough games was, well, if these games are really going to be real games, then obviously they should be able to make the money back. And the people that don't want to, and most people aren't going to want to take a risk on a crap game releasing for nothing and having to pay $100 for it. Problem is, you have no clue how stupid people can be. that includes Steam. This has led to more games being released, and actually at least one company that we know of releasing 200 games in 1 month. Fortunately, Valve had forced themselves to step in and erase that company's existence in Steam because they were just simply flooding the marketplace. 200 games a month, by the way, is like what, 10, 20 a day, roughly. Let me get a calculator here and do some quick math here. Come on, calculator. Let's see, 200 divided by. Oh, where's this freaking divide button? There you go. Divide by 25, we'll say, is 8 games a day. Okay, so that's roughly 8 games a day, and that's with the remainder of 5 extra days in the week, in the month, 5 or 6, depending on which day of the month it is. I don't comment what I just said there, folks. I realize what I just said. Anyway, one of the advantages of not having a script is that you get to embarrass yourself, and therefore people will laugh at you. So, great comedy there, if you're lucky enough. So, big problem with that, 8 games a day. Well, considering most days it's already getting like a good 10, 20 games, that's a lot of games to add every day. 8 games a day from one company. And this is a problem with these games, too. They're not good games. They're not quality games. They're fake games, as they call them. And we'll get into fake games. It's not like... It's not fake news. Even... I don't know. Abort that joke. I couldn't come up with I couldn't come up with a good joke there. Sorry. But we'll get into the fake games here very shortly, I promise. Most people also know them by another name. We'll get into that when we get into that. So... Steam had to step in, Valve had to step in and shut this company down, essentially. Or sever their ties with the company, rather. The thing is, they shouldn't have had to do this to begin with, because this shouldn't have been allowed to happen. Because again, this company keeps producing fake games. Now, this leads to the question that many people are probably asking. Those of you that don't know who Jim Sterling is, or Sid Alpha, because they're the ones that use the term most often. Actually, you probably don't even know what fake games are either from that, because they use a different term. What are fake games? Well, fake games are known better in the community as asset flips. This is the most common term for fake games. What are asset flips? Well, Jim Sterling and Sid Alpha, like I said earlier, use the terms most often, and this describes a game that uses pre-bought assets, pre-bought models, animations, programming even to an extent, and try to sell it off as their own game. Similar to people trying to flip property or flip a house. They'll buy a house for relatively cheap, do the minimal amount of work to get it functioning, and then try to resell it. Only the difference with house flipping as for asset flipping is, instead of trying to sell a fairly completed house, something that'll at least function long enough for someone to buy it, they're trying to basically produce a low quality, Z-grade quality game. I'd probably say even double Z-grade quality, lower than Z-grade quality game, for as little money as possible, and then they can just copy and paste it, and it prints money, quote unquote prints money. The problem with this is it's kind of a sleazebag thing to do. Even like house flipping, you could argue is better, because at least you're giving back to the community, and you have to put in a surprisingly large amount of money. My brother-in-law tried to flip a property at one point. Turned out to be a lot harder to do than you'd expect, because there's a lot of problems with the house, but he tried to do a lot of the work himself. He put the elbow grease into it at least, and he was able to resell the house. I don't know if he made a profit off of it or not. But that's the thing with the house flipping. With the asset flipping, well, here's the thing about the asset flip. So the idea behind buying pre-made assets on game engines such as Unity, Unreal, and Game Guru, just to name the three big ones, the idea of having the asset store is that you buy the assets and then combine them with some of your own assets and your own programming prowess, and you make a game out of them. Tons of indie companies do this. One game that comes to mind is the game Volume, by the same people who made Thomas Was Alone. There, I couldn't remember the name for a second. Bithel Games? Bithel? L? Or maybe it was one L. Let me see. Let me check here. I got the Steam. Yeah, Bithel or Bithel. I think the proper name is Bithel because it's one word. I also think it's the guy's last name. They use pre-made animation assets. They buy essentially the animation skeleton, and they place their own models over it. That's actually pretty cool. That helps save a lot of the problems, especially in animation. Animation's not an easy thing to do, regardless of what medium you're going into. Getting really good animation done is really difficult to do, especially if you don't have animation experience. A lot of programmers don't. So having that kind of an idea, having that kind of ability to buy the animation models, and then just inject them into your characters so that they move around just like they should, is wonderful. This is the same thing with animation. With getting the character model. There's a lot of really cool character models. If you look on these stores, there's a lot of really cool character models. Let me look up Unity's asset store. There we go, asset store in Unity. Let me see. Oh, right there, the front page. I see a picture of a really cool model. This like kind of like tree monster kind of looking thing. It's got like kind of like these burning embers underneath the bark of its like what would be its skin, I guess. That's pretty cool. But here's the problem with the asset flips. They take these really neat ideas. There we go. Let me look at 3D models here. Oh, somebody made bats. Somebody has guns. But yeah, like there's a lot of these really cool looking models, but people will just these asset flippers will just buy or even pirate these assets, and then just inject them into a game willy-nilly without really just kind of Frankenstein, putting some sort of Frankensteinian code in there to try to get things to stay together enough, and they just produce one level, put it up for 99 cents, and yeah, they make a bad game, for lack of better words. So what's the problem with that? Well, aside from being able to produce these games really quickly, it's incredibly cynical. Even if they put it up for 99 cents, which is usually the most common price, is 99 cents, it's incredibly cynical, and it's sleazy as all hell. They're making money off of... I don't even know how they're making money off of this. I think it's something to do with the Steam trading cards and people being stupid enough to trade around the cards and try to make money off of it. That goes into a whole other thing with the Steam trading cards, with other people trying to make money off of that. I don't even know how this is a profitable thing for them. But yeah, so they do that. They make money that way, producing triple Z grade. There you go, triple Z. If we're gonna do triple A, we can do triple Z titles, and selling them for 99 cents. Oftentimes putting them on sale and giving them away via Steam keys, and they make money off the trading cards. I honestly cannot describe how this works. It's all very confusing to me whenever I try to figure it out. Sid Alpha and Jim Sterling both do much better jobs of explaining this. If you are truly interested in figuring out how this works, how they make money, seek out their content. I urge you to seek out their content regardless. It's good stuff. Jim Sterling's a little rough to listen to if you're a little more sensitive persuasion. Definitely not family friendly material with him. But they both have very, very valid points to make, much better points than I could ever make. So, Steam Direct is supposed to stop people from releasing these triple Z titles, and it doesn't. So, the big question, 16 minutes into the video, I apologize for this, is how I would solve it. And I think I'm gonna make that into its own episode here. So, I'm sorry for doing this, but I kind of want people who want to learn how I would fix the Steam Direct model to have its own video. So you can just kind of direct your attention to that if need be. So, yeah. I did not intend to go this long in trying to explain the Steam Direct and the Steam Greenlight. It's a complicated thing to figure out. But yeah, so next episode will cover that. So yeah, hopefully I won't be saying so and doing that. Whatever that is. I keep doing that. Hopefully I'll be able to be more concise and consistent on that. So anyway. I'll see you guys then.